Hey guys, okay, so I have got a new foundation for you. I found this at Walmart, and it's called the Found Nourishing Liquid Foundation. The brand is actually called Found. And this is supposed to be like a natural makeup brand, kind of like the Pacifica or 100% Pure, Juice Beauty, those kinds of natural makeup lines. That's what this is supposed to be. But it's available at Walmart for more affordable prices. Now this was $10, so it's about the same price as your typical foundation. But I also got a concealer, and it is this color correcting concealer right here in peach, and this was $8, like $8.88, so almost $9. Foundation $10. I don't know, that seems kind of high for a concealer. So it's more affordable, of course, than the Pacifica foundations and the Juice Beauty foundations and the 100% Pure foundations, but still kind of pricey in my opinion. All right, so I'm going to shake this guy up. I don't know how deep it went, ladies. I wasn't really looking for that. I was just trying to see if they had my shade. They did, in fact, have my shade. This is a 110. This might, in fact, be too light, so we'll see. I have got a sponge and a brush somewhere. Brush to try and apply this. All right, I do have a little bit of concealer on this eye, so we're going to try the other eye, or the other side first. Okay. Oh, well, that just ripped. Okay, so it's a decent pump bottle. This is glass, which is nice. I just have a feeling I have a problem with natural type cosmetics, especially foundations, because they tend to be a little bit too greasy. So let's just see. Oh, it's got a lock on it, which I think is nice. Hopefully it won't be too separated. We'll see. Okay, it is slightly runny, so it's probably a medium consistency, I would say. Which makes me feel like this sponge is going to soak up the product. So I'm going to go ahead and try a brush first, just so we can give it its full fair shot. Alright, loading well into the brush. I'm just going to apply it to this side, and I'll blend that side out with the sponge. Alright, I'm going to wipe some of that off back on my hand because I feel like I just got too much. Okay, so the shade looks good. It may in fact be oxidizing, because weirdly enough, it almost looks like it's getting darker as I blend it. So we'll see. I have a feeling this is going to be similar, just looking at it, to the Burt's Bees foundation, and I do have a review on that if you'd like to take a look at that. You can kind of get an idea of the coverage and all. I'm going to go ahead and blend out this other side just so that it's not sitting there and becoming crusty. But I feel like you can still kind of get an idea of the coverage. This is the Precision Beauty Sponge that I picked up at Walmart. I kind of hauled it, or at least talked about it, in a different video. And I'm still using it. Okay, well, if it is oxidizing, it's not looking like it's oxidizing too much. Maybe just the tiniest bit. I'm going to put a little bit more on my chin. And then we're going to get an up-close look. So far, I feel like the shade is looking good. Would you guys want me to compare the shade against a foundation that is just about my exact shade? I might just do that. I feel like that would be helpful for, so you can kind of see shade comparisons. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, well, the sponge side is looking a lot better. Got less product on the sponge side, just because I feel like the sponge did kind of soak a lot of it up. The brush side, okay, I feel like it's drying down. I got a lot of crustiness going on my nose right here and here, anywhere where I have a dry patch. So if this foundation is like totally amazing, you'll probably want to use a sponge. The brush side is looking pretty crusty, and yes, very similar to the Burt's Bees. To be fair, I have got my driest patches are right in this area, That's where I'm getting the most crustiness. On this side, with the sponge application, not as much, not as crusty looking. So I'm going to try and whatever's left on my hand, I'm just going to pick that up, see if I can put a little bit more, because I feel like it's evening out really well on the sponge side, just not a lot of coverage. Not a lot of coverage really on either side. I mean, it looks like it's really evening out very well. A little bit crusty on my nose right there. So as a first impression, I'm not duly impressed with this. It's okay, but honestly, I have to be honest, I want to like this brand because it was very exciting to see this new brand in the drugstore at Walmart, but I gotta be honest, this foundation is not, I'm not very impressed with it. It's looking pretty crusty on my skin. And everywhere I have a dry patch, it's wanting to cling. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little tiny bit, just so we can kind of get an idea of the coverage, a little bit more. I'm gonna put a little tiny bit more under my eye where it's my problem area. It won't make as much difference on this side since I've got a concealer on there. Well, that was pretty creepy. A branch just fell down from a tree and crashed onto the ground. It sounded like breaking glass. Alright. Don't worry, ladies, my doors are locked. I know you're concerned about me. Okay. Okay, so credit where credit's due. It's only looking crusty on my dry patches and my dry areas. So I have combination skin, really oily patches and really dry patches. I've gotten a lot more dry in the past several months. My hormones are all out of whack because I'm going through menopause right now. So on the places where I don't have any dry patches, it's looking fine and nice. Not amazing, but fine. But anywhere where there is a dry patch, again right around here, it's looking pretty crusty. So if you use a primer, that may change. If you use like a setting spray, that could change. I never use either of those. I want a bare face just to see what we've got with these foundations. So otherwise it's looking fine. It's more on the matte side. You can see a tiny bit of light reflection right here, but it's more on the matte side. So if you're looking for a matte foundation, you have oily skin, you might like this one. Again, it's $10. Is it any better than any other foundations? At this point, first impression, not really. It's just looking pretty average at this point. I will wear it for the rest of the day. I will update my thoughts in the description below. I can feel it kind of setting down a little bit, and it is feeling a little bit dry, but when I touch it, it's still, excuse me, feeling a little bit tacky. So, shade's nice. Other than that, it's looking very average at this point. I like the way it's looking around my eyes, but that's because the more shiny slash dewy of a finish that I have around there, the older it makes me look. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but anything that's shiny reflects on my little creases, wrinkles, and it just doesn't look good. And this hollow right there, right here, emphasizes that, so I don't like that. So I usually like a matte finish around there, or a matte-er finish. So again, it's not blowing me away at this point. I will wear it for the rest of the day, update my thoughts in the description, and I will see you guys the next time. Please don't forget to subscribe and to like this video. Bye.